The house stood alone, a colonial mansion, stark against the winter sky, at 112 Ocean Avenue, Amityville, New York, a place now synonymous with horror. But it wasn't always this way. The beauty of the home masked a darkness, an evil that lay dormant, waiting. One late fall night, that evil awoke. A family, the DeFeos, slaughtered in their sleep, shot one by one. A chilling prelude to the horrors that would follow. The killer, Ronald DeFeo Jr., claimed voices drove him to it, voices from the house, whispers of madness and death. The story sent chills down the spines of a nation, a family massacred, a house stained with blood, a mystery that lingered. The DeFeo murders cast a long shadow, a pall over 112 Ocean Avenue. The house was empty now, waiting. A year passed. The house stood empty, a silent sentinel. Then a new family dared to move in. The Lutzes, seeking a fresh start. They saw a beautiful home. They didn't see the darkness within. They would soon learn. The house had not forgotten. George and Kathy Lutz, along with their 3 children, crossed the threshold. They carried hope with them, dreams of a happy life. These dreams would soon turn to nightmares. The house was cold, a damp chill that seeped into their bones. A feeling of dread permeated the air. Strange occurrences began almost immediately. Foul odors, unexplained noises, and cold spots. Objects moved on their own. The children spoke of imaginary friends, their eyes filled with fear. George became withdrawn, his temper short. Kathy felt a presence, something dark and malevolent. The Lutz family tried to ignore the events, to rationalize them away, but the occurrences grew more frequent, more disturbing. Kathy discovered a small hidden room, painted red. It reeked of death. The air grew thick with a feeling of evil. The house was alive, and it was feeding on their fear. One night, George awoke to find Kathy levitating above their bed. Her eyes blank, her face contorted in terror. He shook her awake, but the image remained seared into his mind. The children began sleepwalking, drawn to the red room. Their nightmares bled into their waking hours. The priest, Father Mancuso, came to bless the house. He felt an overwhelming sense of evil. As he sprinkled holy water, he heard a voice. "Get out!" The voice was deep, guttural, full of rage. Mancuso fled, his faith shaken. The Lutzes were trapped, their home a prison of fear. The house played on their fears, exploiting their weaknesses. George became obsessed with the house's history. The DeFeo murders haunted him. He saw Ronald DeFeo Jr.'s face in the darkness, heard his laughter echoing through the halls. The boundary between sanity and madness began to blur. Kathy researched the history of the land. She discovered a dark past. The land had once belonged to a satanic worshiper. He had performed rituals on the property, summoning dark forces. The house was built on unholy ground soaked in the blood of sacrifices. The evil was rooted deep. The children's imaginary friends became more real. They spoke of a man with glowing red eyes, a creature that lurked in the shadows. The children were terrified. They pleaded with their parents to leave, but the house held them captive, its grip tightening with each passing day. Driven to the brink, the Lutz family made a desperate decision. They fled the house, leaving behind all their possessions. They left in the dead of night, their faces etched with terror. They never returned. The house stood empty once more, a monument to their fear. The story of the Lutzes spread like wildfire. Newspapers and magazines ran sensationalized accounts of their ordeal. Books were written, movies were made. The Amityville Horror became a cultural phenomenon, a cautionary tale of a family's descent into madness. But doubts lingered. Skeptics questioned the validity of the Lutzes' claims. Was it a hoax, a clever fabrication to escape financial ruin, or was it something more? The truth remained elusive, shrouded in the shadows of the house on Ocean Avenue. The Amityville house still stands today, a silent sentinel watching over the quiet street. It has had other occupants, but the shadow of horror remains. The stories persist, whispered from generation to generation, a reminder that some places hold a darkness that cannot be erased. The Amityville Horror continues to fascinate. It taps into our primal fears, the fear of the unknown, the fear of the darkness that lurks within our own homes. It is a story that resonates, a chilling reminder that evil can take many forms. Whether fact or fiction, the Amityville Horror has left an indelible mark on our collective psyche. It is a story that will continue to haunt us, to make us question what is real and what is imagined. For in the darkness, our fears take shape and the line between reality and nightmare blurs.